Hello everyone. So we are back with another unit to discuss about from our NTA UGC NET paper 1 syllabus. I hope you remember me in the last session when I came here with unit 4 where we talked about the various communication processes and the elements that we require in a communication process, and finally the context, difference in context in which we modify our communication. I hope you remember. We have discussed that in the last few sessions, in the last videos. Today, from unit 4, we are jumping to unit 8. A huge jump, double to unit 8. It is also a kind of communication, but with a difference. Information and communication technology, technically called ICT. It is something that we are going to discuss today. Not all, but few interesting bits that you might need to understand. While thinking about ICT, information, communication, technology, apart from all these things, what is the first image that comes to your mind? Of course, the picture of a computer, right? So for us, people like us, IT means computer itself, but it's not computer alone. It is the coming together of various kinds of technologies. This is a very important thing that you need to know, because in many universities, even if you are a student of literature, you will be supposed to learn papers from computer science as well, because interdisciplinarity is a major thing. Okay, so even from computer science, you might have to learn a lot of things. That may be the reason, may or may not be the reason that NTA has designed the syllabus like this. And also students from various streams are going to attend this exam, not only from English literature or from arts subjects. Students who has taken bachelor's degree in science courses too has to clear sometimes UGC NET. Also from other arts fields, okay, they have to discuss with, they can, of course, some of them can write CSIR NET as well. But somehow there are certain things that you are supposed to know, something about everything. That is why we are attending this particular examination, okay. So that's why we are supposed to learn technical things as well. So we are here with this particular unit. Understood? Now you understand why you are studying this, the purpose. Then, now we will come to know what we are supposed to study in this, right? You are curious, I know. First, I will tell you, we are here to assist you with very important portions from ICT. So, me on behalf of Panacea Paper and Classrooms in a joint venture with Vallath invite you to a beautiful session in Unit 8, Information and Communication Technology. Just like I told you, whenever you hear this area that we are supposed to talk about, you will be confused. What are things that you need to focus upon? So let me say, these are the focus areas from which you should have a major idea while you are preparing for UGC NET in this particular unit alone, to be precise. So in ICT, what are all things that you need to learn? Terms and specifications in connection to ICT, the introduction to computers, their generations. Let me say, we have almost like 5 generations that we have passed in the field of computers. There are types of computers there where we have from supercomputers to microcomputers, we have different kind of classification, we have input and output devices, how a CPU works, what are the memory units, number systems, internet, email, file formats, from where questions usually come. What kind of format this is a jumbled format, which among the following are audio formats. Such questions usually comes, right? Okay, I think if you are students who have gone through the previous question papers, you will definitely know how important these focus areas are. ICT and governance, very major topic, because government systems are relying on information and communication technology for the ease of governance these days and to limit corruption to a limit, okay. So in order to take things into control for the convenience of people, government has also introduced a lot of IT missions as well, so which we have to learn because we are going to attend for this exam. Okay, that is something that we should know as a social citizen. And role of ICT in higher education, definitely, because you are going to attend an examination which makes you qualified for becoming assistant professors or junior research fellowship or junior research fellow as well. So in that case, in higher education, how this particular area is showing its dominance, predominance or prominence, anything that we need to know. That's why we are here to discuss this unit 8 ICT. So let me talk to you about the major part of this project. Okay, so in this unit 8 we start by talking about computers. What are computers? Just like my school teacher suggested me when during my earlier classes on computer science, I do remember this definition. Computer is a fast and accurate electronic machine that converts data into meaningful information. That's a perfect definition for computers still, I believe. Why? It's a machine which is so fast, accurate. Just ask computer what is 3.14 into 2.17. It will definitely give you an answer within a millisecond. That is the speed. Okay, so it is fast, it is precise, it's accurate electronic machine that can convert data into meaningful information. Why? Because computer could only process binary data which will be converted into meaningful information, everything of which you can definitely be able to know if you avail a full course on ICT. So now I will give you the small scale ideas with this. So in every computer, as you know, we have hardware and software. It is made up of hardware and software. What is hardware? The physical components which we can touch and feel. Okay, they are called hardware, the physical components in a computer. Software is the instructions and programs which make these physical components run perfectly in the predefined manner, the defined perfect manner, and that is called software. The instructions that we feed into the computer is called software. So I hope you got the idea what a computer is made up of, what is hardware, software. These are certain things that you know already because you are a tech person. You have come up from a pandemic era. You have to go through all these devices, so you know what a hardware means, what a software means. I don't have to elaborate much on that, right? Anyway, the computer that you might see today, you are dealing with a lot of computers every day. Now you might be in front of your laptop or your smartphone. Even if that's a smartphone which we will call, that is a microcomputer actually, that you know already, right? So different types of computers that we are dealing with in our day-to-day life. But that was not just like what we say, Rome wasn't built in a day. It was not something that evolved in a day's time. It has like 5 generations to deal with. We will talk about those generations one by one, students. First generation, let me say. It started way back in 1940s to 1959 when Charles Babbage, the father of computers, invented the first ever computer. If you can see the picture right here, have seen one of the oldest pictures right here. See, it is so big, not like the compact microcomputers that we hold today. It was so big and like the size of a large room. Still, how much was its memory capacity? You see, 4,000 bits. Not the GBs and TBs that we hold today. It was just 4,000 bits for this large size, room sized devices we had way back. And it supported only machine language. It never had processors just like we have today. Only some vacuum tubes. Way back in 1950s, you see, from 1946 to 1959, that this first generation of computers were in prominence and they had the size of a large room. And the problem was with these devices, like a lot of companies began to manufacture these devices. In that trend, one among the first and foremost computers was ENIAC. If you go search in Google for example of a first generation computer, definitely you will see this name, ENIAC 1, UNIVAC 1, IBM 701. These are the first generation of computers we had. but they had a lot of limitations, just like the torch bearers in technology. They have to go through a lot. They had a lot of challenges. Reliability was a major issue, because as you see, they relied on vacuum tubes. These vacuum tubes cannot hold a lot of heat, but these humongous devices, they will heat up easily. So with excess heat that these vacuum tubes cannot hold, they will break easily and the whole process will be interrupted. And we have to go repair the vacuum tubes again, and again we have to restart the process, and it was quite a Herculean task to perform any kind of operation with these vacuum tube enabled first generation of computers, and they were not affordable at all. Only in large organizations to perform complex calculations only these computers were relied upon, and this was not popular at all. From there onwards, technology again evolved to second generation of computers. By 1965, 1960s particularly, we had second generation of computers whose size bit more diminished. Can you see in the image right here? Almost the size of a large table from the size of a large room. They have evolved, and now instead of vacuum tubes, as you know, they have high reliability issues. Now we began relying on transistors as their components. Now they have assembly language to rely upon. They work on not only on machine language, they can work on assembly language. Their memory too increased. Earlier it was just 4000 bits, now it's 32,000 bits, which has both primary and secondary memory as well, and their size too diminished. Here also you see IBM has their own specific models, IBM 400, 1401, 1600, lot of models that came as a part of second generation of computers. They were relatively faster, relatively durable. Why? No vacuum tubes anymore, and they had the reliance on assembly and machine languages as well, so more easy to work in comparison with the first generation of computers, but still they were very costly, not at all required for a personal purpose, because you can imagine how technology was there in 1970s, how much people relied on technology during 1970s, especially in case of computers. Okay. So it was the case with second generation of computers. From where on we have moved to third generation of computers. By 1970s, of course. Why this thing? Okay. So 1970s, way back in 1970s, we have moved to third generation of computers, where we again evolved from transistors to integrated circuits. You know what an integrated circuit means? Something like this. Do you have remotes? Television remotes still alive in your homes, old television remotes. You still have that experience of breaking that television remote, taking some black thing out, having a lot of legs to play upon. It is called integrated circuits. Means it can hold a lot of circuits within. Okay, so integration of lot of circuits together. That's why they are called IC, or integrated circuits they were called. And these integrated circuits were the integral part of third generation of computers. So instead of our old vacuum tube technology, we have emerged to IC. Within 2 decades, you see how much technology has evolved in the field of computers. Then they supported high-level languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL and all. Their memory too increased to 1,28,000 bits. From the 4,000 bit story, we have emerged to 1,28,000 bits. And their size too was relatively smaller. I think you can see the picture right here. It was a bit more small rather than the large room size computer or the table size computer. Now it emerged to a tabletop computer. That was the level of updation and development in the field of technology, in the field of computers over generations. Here also you might see UNIVAC and other personal data processors as a part of this evolvement or these updations in technology, evolution in technology. They were more reliable, lesser electricity was required, so they were more efficient. Still, they were costly, not affordable to people's personal pockets, still used for official purposes alone. You see, until 1970s, until 3 generations, computer was not a personal device. For data processing, everything, we have relied upon this. Then from where we as common people began to see computers? Right here from 4th generation. You remember how these things are a part of your nostalgia, right? The 4th generation of computers, the old CRT monitors, the old kind of CPU where you can insert your floppy disk, all kind of keyboards where this particular monitor from where you might have seen the first ever logos of Windows 98 or Vista. Do you remember, my students? That is 4th generation of computer. They relied on microprocessors rather than transistors or integrated circuits. These microprocessors, large scale integrated microprocessors or very large scale integrated microprocessors, they began to rely upon, and this has improved their speeds and this has reduced their sizes, and they could be controlled by using high level languages like C++, D-base, and their memory too has increased to 100 billion bits. They can, what is the most peculiar thing about these computers is that they can be dismantled separately and they can be moved from one place to another. They are portable if required. That is one of the peculiar features of this 4th generation of computers. They were cheaper in comparison as well. Internet, as you know, around the world in 1980s, internet has got a huge surge. But in India, only after 1998 or something, that the internet became a reality. But the concept of internet was introduced after the arrival of this 4th generation of computers. From there on, now we have seen what we have reached, where we have reached. 5th generation of computers. You know what all devices that you all hold today, right? The same kind of pocket friendly devices, personal devices, without a computer system, without your smartphone, can you live for at least an hour today? No, that is the level of prominence that computers has gained in our daily lives. That too in the 5th generation from 1980s, it has got a huge surge that computers can be a part of our daily lives. And this is not limited to like assembly language or machine language alone. Now they have artificial intelligence as well, where they can understand human language. Natural voice recognition is possible now with all the computer systems. You can just ask them, hey Siri, what is the time? Your Apple device might respond. Okay, or you can ask, okay Google, what's the time now? And that immediately your screen just wakes up, telling that, okay, how can I help you? Okay, so in this manner, computers began recognizing our voices, being a part of our daily living. With regard to Internet of Things, we can control our home appliances as well, right? That is the level of convenience that we have gained with the evolution generation of computers. They have gone beyond limits in terms of memory, where we can expand all kinds of memory. They have become more compact sized, pocket sized, and with the advancement in artificial intelligence, even robots work for us, even in our households. That is the level of development that we have achieved. Okay, smartphones, laptops, and even robots can be told as an example of 5th generation of computers. Okay, they are user friendly, they have multimedia interfaces, parallel processing, they are super fast, and they are available even at cheaper rates. How much cost for a small smartphone right now? Even if you have like an amount of 5,000 rupees, you can afford a smartphone now, right? That is the level of evolution that we all gained. I hope you got a small idea about generation of computers. Still you wonder, will these things come as questions for the huge examination like NTA, which is so serious, and why are you making us learn these very silly things that we already know from our school days itself? I have the answers for you. These are I will illustrate you some of the questions, some questions that I have already talked about. Okay, so from NTA UGC Net, this was one of the questions that came here. You might be wondering why I am dealing with such Very, very basic things. But you see, this was one of the questions that I have asked one of your previous year question papers from where I have obtained this question. One of the questions that was asked in one of the previous exams is like, which generation of computers used vacuum tubes as their basis of operation? This is not limited to NTA UGC NET alone. For any other examination, competitive examinations, if you go, you might endure such questions. There you should identify vacuum tubes. Which is that generation of computers that relied on vacuum tubes? Yes, I can hear your answer. It is the first generation computer, which you can, that is your right answer. Now, next question, let me say it. Yeah. What is the basis of second generation of computers? That's our next question. Can you identify which was the basic component of second generation of computers from these options given below? Yes, I can hear you. Is that ICs or microprocessors or vacuum tubes? No. It's your answer. Transistors. Second generation of computers relied upon transistors. Now, third question. Which generation of computer is equipped with artificial intelligence? Just now we have talked about it, right? So there are the options. Select your answer immediately. That's your answer. Fifth generation of computers relied upon microprocessors. I think you are running out of time. Maybe you might have more work to do. Wait, I have one more question for you. Come on, the last question of the session. Come on, ma'am. Yes. Have you heard about this particular thing? IBM 1401. I think I haven't mentioned this name in the last session. But definitely, you can Google about it. Or you can just give a try. Just give a try. Which would be the generation of computer where IBM has introduced one such model, IBM 1401, which is the generation of computer, which might be the generation of computer. Make a guess. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's check the answer. It's the second generation of computer that IBM has introduced. That its model name is IBM 1401. Several such interesting questions are there. I think you have the right to answer for one more question because I can see you are more curious. Okay, so which of the following languages were used in second generation of computers? It's a complementary question. Add on. I told you that was the last question. Anyway, I could see you are so curious. Just give a try. Second generation of computers. What was the kind of language? Was that a machine language, or assembly language, or programming language, or that they had high level languages they could cope up with? No, I know you know the answer. Assembly languages was the kind of languages that second generation of computers dealt with. I hope you got a very interesting session with the generation of computers here. So for more information and more such interesting classes in detail, you can definitely contact Vallath's Total English Solutions in association with Panacea Paper 1 Classrooms for your regular coachings and you are keeping up the track with the general paper of NTA UGC NET Paper 1 syllabus. Thank you.